Today we have LIN Shu-hui here another time, or not here, but here. We're looking forward to the second installation. As you can see, Lin Laoshi is really an expert in travel literature. She has, all her books are about different versions of travel literature. No. Hey, sorry, someone was trying to help. She's worked on travel literature all her life, and she's today going to really take us to a very interesting chapter of travel literature, and that is the chapter where the US is inviting Taiwan intellectuals to come to the US. And the question is, how does that experience of the US change their view of Taiwan? So we're very much looking forward to your presentation, Lin Laoshi, Lin Jiaoshou, and I'm looking forward to your arguments. Okay, and I hope that my computer doesn't continue to do this. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for joining again. My second lecture focuses on Taiwan perspective on the United States travelogue from the Cultural Cohort. And I divide my lecture into 5 parts. Oh, the top of the left is our department logo. It's L is here, you see L is literature, C is culture, and L is literature. And C is culture too, and L is language too. So it's Formosa, and blue is sky, and the ocean is blue, and the Formosa green, and it's the word Thai. So it's our logo of our department, Taiwan Literature, Culture, and Languages. And today I focus on the being a guest in the US. I choose the case of travel narrative. The book is published in 1966. The author is Lin Hai-in. Most of the previous studies on Lin Hai-in focus on her fiction and seldom interpreted the travel narrative of her visit to the United States. In the past, research about the Cold War period in Taiwan focused on exploring the impact of U.S. aid on the policy and the government officials events. Recently, culture have already been included as one of the subjects of Cold War studies, like the art, literature, movie, and there are several educational exchange programs, such as Model Security Aid and the Smith Media Aid and the famous Fulbright Aid. And it's during Cold War period. And one professor of history, Zhao Qina, she collected files from 1951 to 1970 and analyzing several educational exchange programs. And among the visitors, Lin Hai-in was the first Taiwanese female writer who officially accepted a sponsorship from the United States Department of State's International Visitor Leadership Program in 1955. And Lin Hai-in, her parents were Taiwanese, and Lin was born in Osaka, Japan, grew up in Beijing, and lived in Taiwan after the Second World War. And Lin had been the editor of Mandarin Daily News. In 1953, she became a chief editor of a supplement in the United Daily News. And in 1957, he also took a job as the editor of Wenxin magazine. In her capacity as an editor, he made many contributions to the literature field in Taiwan. In part two, I talk about the research question. What's the context of being a guest in the U.S. and how to choose a visit route? What reflections on cross-cultural observation are revealed? And I use some methodology. For example, the relation between history, time, and geography, space, and combining GIS with literature to interpret Taiwan travel literature. And I use some first-hand data from the database. For example, Captain incident in 1963 is recently I found the first-hand data information. On April 23, the supplement of a United Daily News publishing a poem, story. The name is Story, and the file show in situation 18, the present is ignorant, and spring the discourse like the government is hopeless to counteract China, which will damage the more of the people. The role of the captain in the poem was considered by the authorities to be the present Jiang Jieshi. So Lin Hai-in immediately resigned from the newspaper company. They also the employee Wang Fengci, he was detained in a jail in prison for 3 years. This is so-called Captain incident. And Lin Hai-in hardly mentioned this incident in her life. But now we can see that later her daughter donated to the museum, and he said, "Oh, she is so." We can think about the situation because so serious. Many writers in the newspaper, they wrote to her, to Lin Hai-in, and worry about their situation. And Lin Hai-in wrote a letter to the famous writer Zhong Zhaozhen. She said, "I'm like a wandering bird. I should have quite a lot, but I should have sorry my tears." So reading the archive and letters help us to better understand the empathy during the Marshall period. And the Marshall period is overlaid the Cold War period. This accident made Lin Hai-in rethink her status as well as the future of Taiwan. And Lin Hai-in should not just write her travelogue, and she left the company, the United Daily newspaper company, and in 1965, and he accepted the invitation and visit the United States for 4 months. And she deliberately chose to interview several people who had cared about freedom of speech. I make a table because her travelogue combined the letters, and I found the letters so many details. So, for example, she visited the supervisory community member Tao Baichuan in New York. Tao Baichuan, he is a political writer. So, and Lin Hai-in arranged to visit University of Iowa, where she met the Lian Hualin, and the Lian Hualin had served as editor-in-chief of the literature column of Free China magazine, and with the Paul Anger, the director of Iowa Writer Workshop and the founder of the International Writing Program. And the program was supported by the Department of State. So, and we can see the and another writer is Zhang Guangzhi. He taught in the Department of Anthropology at Yale University at the time of the visit. This professor, who when he was in a high school student, who was in prison for events. So Lin Hai-yin deliberately chose to visit this writer, and it was an arrangement by the U.S. State Department of State, and there are symbolic meeting because he arranged the schedule by herself. So and he wrote many letters to her family during her stay in the U.S. for recording. The visit could remind her to remember many details. The writing style of female experience of being a guest in the U.S. is unique, special, and different from the officer's report. Lin recorded many details during the visit. For example, she talked to some officer and participate in program at the Voice of American, and they interviewed. He joined the program, and the United States Department of State offers opportunity to experience American culture, to promote and spread American culture, values, and ideologies. And recording her visit to the Voice of American and the U.S. Intelligence Agency, her presentation is close linked to the culture and the political background of the area. Using the Lin Hai-yin Travelogue and the family letter as a research material, and to trail Lin's travel routes and and on her experience, I saw out the letter and consulted the text at the same time using the satellite positioning method to record her travel. It's a map, and in addition to her travel report, he also wrote about her experience in form family letters, and by sharing her experience, and then attempt to talk to readers in intimate, friendly way. And the Washington Post published the activity of Lin on August 15, 1965. I used the database, the Washington Post. They collect so many old newspaper data, so I can download from the library, and I show the which highlight the importance of her visit to the U.S. news media. And Lin Hai-yin used the friendly way or in attempt to talk to the reader in intimidate. And the traveler record her trip chronologically, and one figure in female travel writing was record of a daily life detail. For example, he conveyed her experience in the United States by recording her conversation with people. from the detail in the text, the researcher can explore the mindset of the visitor to the U.S. and get insights into strategy of travel literature. And my result, I focus on the publication of Taiwan's travelogues on visit to the United States. It is closely related to the international visitor program. The experts were invited to visit the U.S. by the United States Department of State in the Cold War period. And the United States cavalry disseminated information through public relations by inviting elects from Asia countries to win their recognition for American. It's the cultural Cold War. And when they invite so many officers, soldiers, or the lawyer or the teacher, because they influence the when they come back, they will impact huge impact. For example, the opportunity of free travel abroad were limited in Taiwan. So they by inviting elite, they invite the famous officer like the Zheng Shu-hui. He was the president of the Central News Agency, and he then was invited to visit the United States in 1953. And another Ho Bingyan, he is the president of the Taiwan News. So it's they works in the newspaper or the media. So he was invited to visit the United States in 1966. So they were invited to visit the United States because of their influence in media. So and it so when I would like to three parts and talk emphasize the Lin Hai-in's travel narrative. The first is a cultural Cold War experience, journey, and landscape symbolic. Because she record her experience and publish before she published a book in advance. She published in the United Dairy News, Mandarin Dairy News, and Women Magazine. So she select and webbed and reorganized travel experience to present memories. And the travel narrative of being a guest in the U.S. is analyzed from the expert from three parts. And the first is the cultural Cold War experience journey, and then landscape symbolics. The U.S. Information and Education Exchange Act of 1954, popularly referred to as Smith's Act, specified the scheme that the U.S. government used to engage in public diplomacy. The foreign leader program, the foreigner leader program, or the international visitor program, designed to influence public opinion abroad. The Lin had mentioned that her trip to the U.S. required to undertake a course in cultural education at the U.S. Department of State for at least 1 week. So before she arranged her trip, so he went to Washington D.C. and stay 1 week, listen the courses. The courses introduce the American culture, the policy, and when she came to American the Thursday, she visited the Children Literature Center in the Library of Congress because she interested in the children literature. So she visited there, and she visited Washington D.C. and viewed so many landscape. This was the political movement, and the U.S. government tried to influence its image in Taiwan. She not only visited many famous the landscape, but also meet with many friends. Yeah, I follow her step to visit Philadelphia, and there are so many landscape of the freedom, like a big bear. And when she went to the Grand Canyon, she think about the Hualien in Taiwan, and when she went to the Lincoln Center in New York, she cared about the Taiwan children organization, and she went to the Santa Fe. She know about the indigenous people in American. So and she interested in the literature. So he visits some landscape about the writer, for example, the Mark Twain hometown, and the sunny side, the home of Washington Irving. The living room like the salon, because the writer always invites so many artists or writer. They chatting each other. They talk about the art, and inside the living room, it's like a salon. And Lin Hai-in and her husband, her family, they are the similar hobby. They always invite some writer or artist. For example, Lin Huaimin have been visit her home and talk about the literature, and the living room is like a Taiwan association. So it's and the second part I would like to talk about psychological projection. Lin, she said she had make a proposal. He planned his trip to the United States for 3 years. She had prepared for visit for a long time. The political environment was restrictive then, but Lin still maintained a great relationship with the many foreigner friends. They keep in touch, and at the same time publish, translate books from many countries. So and Lin was awarded the goal of visitor with the U.S. was obtain experience for the future development of human rights in Taiwan. So he recording the landscape was story background of the picture book, and for example, he decided 3 themes. The first is to visit authors in America. Before the trip, he wrote down the names of the authors whom she hoped to visit, no matter whether knew them or not. After reigning in the U.S., she met more authors and scholars than expected, and some of them are famous writer and scholar or some of them immigrate to the U.S. And one of the writer is Pearl Sidebuck. She is a famous novelist, and Lin Hai-yin with her August 1965, and she would like to learn from her, not just a writer. She organized an association and helped so many people. And the second is to before the trip, he decided he would like to know more about the women and in America and their family. So he learned about the radical change in American women life, and she interviewed the writer. She gained a further understanding of American women autonomy by visiting writer and learning about their life experience. For instance, she interviewed Felix McLeay. With her writing and experience as both an editor and a housewife, Lin was able to identify herself by her own experience as a female author. And so it's the photo, and some photo is from the night reading beside the court window. It's Lin Hai-yin another book, and she interviewed so many writers, and he collects so many photos and write down her interview experience. And the third, to investigate the situation of American children's book. He planned to report on the situation of American children's book. And he concerned about the development in this field in Taiwan. Visiting such situation helped the author of Taiwanese children's literature to widen their horizons and offer reference to the associations that hold related activities. In contrast, at that time in Taiwan, government attempt to take advantage of literature to affect people's mind and develop anti-communalism literature, even in the textbook. So it's so I think it's meaningful. So when he write down her experience in America. And I followed her route, and I went to the Boston Park, and when she found the route, and the book is made, the children literature book. The name of the book is Made Way for Duckling, and when she visited the park, Lin felt more a sense of familiarity when she read the book before. So and I took a picture with a girl, and so the third part is a reflection and practice of cross-cultural observation. So Western Children Education Association, she in her travel narrative, she introduced the annual book week held by Children's Library in New York, as well as the latest publication news for children's for public references, and the reveals her profound understanding of these activities functions. He cited the so many awards Cantor or and Newbery Story Award and other awards in the United States to promote research in this field through criticism. And visiting such an institute can help open a window for Taiwan children literature writer, and also provide reference for literary and art association to handle children literature activities. She interviewed the Brown, and she is a female painter who win so many awards for children books and help LIN image the modern horizon for Taiwanese literature writer and provide a reference for the activity in Taiwan. And the development of children books is related to the future of the country. And in 1945, LIN hired as a first editor of the children book, editing a group of the Taiwan Department of Education, and made great contribution to the promoting of the children literature. And after visiting the U.S., she returned to Taiwan. She published the first children book, Garden Bridge, in 1965. And she participate in the translation of select translation the world masterpiece of children literature, which was Taiwan's first important translation of foreigner classical children literature from the 1965 to 1969. They invite so many writers to translate it. And in 1971, the Department of Education completed the Chinese children books, and LIN Hai served as the instruction of the training teachers seminar. In 1967, Pew Literature Publishing House was founded, and in 1977, the company is tend to publish the children books. By dating the development of children literature led by famous writer in the United States, LIN Hai made everyone understand that the many great writer also participate in creating the children literature, and to attract more aspiring Taiwan literature and art to join. The first-hand interview and report is provide valuable information for Taiwan children literature at that time. And the Travelogues also is a content cross-cultural relation, and the trip provide opportunity to observe the creating children literature. And in 1968 to 1996, she was hired as a member of National Mandarin Entrance Books Editor Council, and she joined the editor the textbook in the elementary. So it's a huge impact. So my conclusion is I talk about the cultural core experience journey and the landscape symbolism and physiologically projection that representing the theme of the visitor, and the reflection of the practice of the cross-cultural observation, and the travelogue of being negative, being a guest in the U.S. It's like observation and imagining of the free world. And she also the author they record what they saw, heard, and felt in a foreign country in their writing, and they would like to shape a better society and inspire the reformation of Taiwan. Yet, yeah, and that is another topic. Maybe I stop here because the time limit is. Thanks for your listening and hope you enjoy my lecture. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we're all clapping here. And I'm sure that, that some of the students will also come up here to ask their question. I want to start off with the first question because it was very interesting to see how this woman, Yi Haiguan, is depicted in the US newspaper, right? And they focus on the fact that she stays on her job, I guess, after marrying. Or something. So it's the headline, right? To introduce is, I think, remarkable because in the 1960s in the US, women stayed on their job a lot, right? So it's not, I guess, but it must have been somehow, special. And so I want to know what the reciprocal sort of views are. So how did she conceive of that headline? Did she see the Washington Post article on her, and what were her reactions? Did she feel that she was represented in a proper way? And then what is the interest of the US to depict a Taiwan woman, right, in such a way? I know that that one other woman that is always is Chiang Kai-shek's wife, of course, Song Mei-ling, is throughout the 1950s and 60s a very, very prominent figure. So if you look through the covers of Times, for example, you will see that Song Mei-ling is there quite often, much more often than Mao Zedong, for example. and so it's very interesting that there is a very open view of Song Mei-ling, and Song Mei-ling, of course, is seen as a kind of a woman figure who pushes things and who is an emancipated woman figure, even though we would probably debate that today, right? To what extent she was emancipated and so on and so forth. But anyway, I was very curious about this woman being depicted in this way. And I was wondering, to what extent this is seen as something special, also by the other women authors that she meets. So she meets Pearl Buck, and she meets this other person who I didn't know, Miss Miller or some very, very normal name, right? And so what do these women also are working women, right? How does relate? So to me, that question of gender was very, very interesting. And then the second question I have is, how did the US choose those who they invited? Because she is a writer, but then the other two men that you showed, they were high up important people with the Taiwan media. So that's a different caliber, different category of invitee, of guest, right? That you can probably also profit from. So why did they invite her in the first place? And what's the story behind the gender and the emancipation? So those are my questions. And whoever else wants to come. Yeah, then we have Britta, who also has a question. Yeah, do you want to come?
Yeah.
Hello. Do you want to answer Professor Mittler's question first?
You can go ahead.
Okay. No, I was I was really interested about the detail that she met Perles Buck, because I read one of her books, I think The Good Earth. Is that the right translation? And the lesson I took from that book is that no matter what happens, you should not give up on your piece of land. And I don't quite know the timeline that Perles Buck and Lin Hai-in met, and when the book were published, but I was wondering if that meeting somehow influenced Lin Hai-in's way of seeing Taiwan-China relations.
Yeah.
We'll let you answer that question first, okay?
Yeah. Lin grew up in Beijing, so her childhood memory is so many multicultural. So she have a special experience. When she come back, she find she have learned from the start because she born in Osaka because her father have worked there. He immigrated to the mainland China, so and he grew up there and got worked there. He entered in school and got a work, and he married there and have a family. So when he come back, she have to know more about the Taiwan culture. So I think the relation, she wrote down some novel or the process compare with the different side, the mainland China and the Taiwan. But when she is the editor, she encouraged so many Taiwan writers to write down their the local experience. So I think she have a special she have grow up in a special environment, so he can understand both sides, the Taiwan and the mainland China. So, but this trip, when she come back to Taiwan, she went to the Osaka because she would like to visit the hospital when she born there. So I think it's an Asia experience. She know about the culture, but when she come back to Taiwan, her family, her so many friends, so her so many relatives live there, and so she know more many details. So, but so I think she have real experience to know about the different culture and compare with them, but she have understanding or empathy to know more both sides. I think she's special, and many Taiwan writers thanks for her to rewrite some article for them because they are not good at in Mandarin, because in Japanese colonial period they write in Japanese, or some writer they have no learn the Mandarin again. So they help them. So I think it's different from the other writer. It's so different because he and yeah, and answer the Barbara question. She's a woman, but she is an important role in the Taiwan literary field because she's not just a writer, she is the editor. And the editor, the newspaper is important at that time in Taiwan. So and she's a good relationship with the USIS, the some officer in Taiwan, the American officer, or in Taiwan, the official, some important key men. So he have the capital of culture. So they invite and her, but and some teacher they teaching in the school. So some of them invite too, but few. And compare with the local Taiwan local, and so many officers they are immigrant from mainland China settled on Taiwan. So the American would like to invite more Taiwan local the visitor, because before they have no opportunity, but after that for example, the President Li Denghui, he joined the test, and he passed the examination, and he went to the American 1 year for training. So it's another kind of visitor scholar. So it is they have to pass the examination. Yeah, and it's local. It's not from immigrated from mainland China. Yeah. So, and yeah, it's gender is so difficult for them because it's few opportunity at that time.
Okay, do we have any more questions from the students? Yes, okay, Maya is coming.
Hi.
Hello. See you again.
Yeah, I think this idea, I mean, what you presented to us and this idea of inviting the Taiwanese scholars or like writers to the US, it's in a way also, it makes me think of cultural diplomacy a bit, or of a way to conduct diplomacy in a softer way. And actually it makes me think of an own experience, because I did an internship once with the German Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and I was in a program where we would make foreign diplomats that were stationed in Germany visit Germany. And it just reminded me very much of that experience. We would really like think of a super nice program and take them to like the most beautiful places in Germany and talk to important people, and really like, I don't know, I experienced how much the German state is interested in giving up a good image. So I don't think it's to be underestimated, this kind of cultural soft power. But as a question, I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but you said that the idea behind it, like the US wanted to give up a good image in this Cold War setting. And how much did they succeed? Like, did this actually reflect in the travelogues of, what was her name? Lin Haiying, or like, did they succeed with making her have a positive view of the US, or wasn't it such an issue in her writings?
Yeah, the Zhao Qina, her research say he collects so many the visitor information, and she find is most of them are positive. Is because they influence the image is even they some of them maybe like a tourist gaze, like a tourist but they arrange the schedule by themselves, but in advance they have to went to Washington DC to listen the course for 1 week. So it's the propaganda, and but after that they can organize, they can design their itinerary, their journey by themselves. So I think maybe it's because they can choose their routes, so it's freedom. It's not follow the government arrangement, and even they saw about so many problems for ethnic or the old people, the society. There are so many terrible things that witness there, but the whole picture is a wonderful experience. And when they write down, it is a publication. So it's another kind of soft policy, I think. And even they just describe the view, but it's some symbolic, or some of the people is diverse, multicultural. So it's not just image. They witness and talk with each other, and contact with the Americans. So It's not just read the information or see the movie. They have the experience. So I think it's the impact. And late, it's my time.
Lin老师, because there is a class after this one, we will have to 结束。我们现在谢谢你啊，非常感谢。We will talk again next time, and we'll talk more
next week. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay.